All right, everybody say it out loud with me. Yeshua. Yeshua. That is the Hebrew name for Jesus. There is no such person in history who was called Yahshua, the Messiah of Israel. Forget it. It is not correct. Or Yahushua, or whatever other names people come up with. Honestly, this is bogus. This is ridiculous. You will not find this in any ancient writings whatsoever. It does not exist, and it also defies all of the ancient linguistic principles by which we know Hebrew operated. Listen, it's really, really very, very simple. Yeshua, and there would have been an ah at the end, an ayin at Yeshua. Yeshua is short for Yehoshua. Yehoshua is the name from whence we get Joshua. Another short form for Yehoshua was Hosea. That's how Joshua is also referred to in the early books of the Bible. So in Numbers, for example, he's referred to a few different ways. Joshua, the book of Joshua. So he is Yehoshua. He is also called Hosea, but then there's a shortened form for this name, and we find this shortened form in the books of Ezra and Nehemiah. The high priest, after the return from the exile in Babylon, was Yehoshua. He's mentioned, for example, in Zechariah the 3rd chapter, in Zechariah the 6th chapter, Yehoshua. But he also goes by the name Yeshua. We have it about 27 times in the Hebrew Bible. Yeshua, that name occurs for about 5 different people, but most prominently for this high priest after the return from exile, Yehoshua, son of Yehotzadek. And this is the name from whence we get the Greek Jesus, Jesus. It is from Yeshua. All of the ancient literature would support it, being it in Aramaic documents, be it in Greek documents. It would point back to a form that we find written in the Hebrew Bible as Yeshua. There's really no mystery. Where do people get this idea that it was Yahshua? It is from their own minds. It is from their own brains. Look, my PhD is in Near Eastern languages and literatures. I can speak with some authority about this. When you had the divine name at the beginning of an Israelite name, it changed in form. It morphed from Yahweh. It morphed, and it would become, say, a Yahoo type of form, hence Yehoshua. It morphed in these different ways. It changed. When you'd have it at the end, like the end of Elijah's name, Eliyahu, that's how it morphs and changes then. These things are shortened. This is very common in ancient languages as names move around in different ways. So we go from Yehoshua, then it gets shortened to Yeshua. Again, these are just what are called hyperchoristicons, shortened names, nicknames of a kind. And this is how they were formed and how they developed. There's really nothing mysterious about it. The next time someone says to you, Yahshua, say, who are you talking about? He never existed. When they say Yahushua, forget about it. And when you say, if you don't say the name right, they won't have the power. Nonsense. The New Testament was given to us in Greek. All the ancient documents we have preserved are Greek. If any part was originally Hebrew or Aramaic, we don't have that preserved. But we know even at the beginning, almost everything was given in Greek, if not all given in Greek. So it's really simple. From the start, they referred to him as Jesus. Why? Because it's not how you pronounce the name. It is the power of who he is. But there's no reason to create a name that never existed, Yahshua or Yahushua. Forget it. It is Yeshua. If you want to use the original Hebrew name, the name his parents would have called him, Yeshua. That's the name.